Hello YouTube, it is Championdjk coming at you again with another weekly episode, and it's been a pretty good week. Definitely a good week. I found a super treasure hunt. What? I haven't found a super treasure hunt, I believe. The last one I found in the wild at a store was May of 2020. So, it's been over 2 years since I found a super. And this is the super I found. Pretty sweet, actually. This is one I definitely wanted, so I am stoked to get it. Of course, I picked up the regular car as well to pair with it. And I picked up some other basic Hot Wheels as well. We're gonna look at some basics today. Besides the super, I got a regular treasure hunt too. I believe this is from the same case. Found it at the same time, so I imagine so. Well, yeah, K case. Found some other K case cars, M case cars, L case cars. I don't know what's going on. All right, so I haven't watched a single basic car case unboxing at all this year, and I should get back on the ball with that. I'm excited for this, actually, this Lamborghini Cyan. That's pretty awesome. And then let's see what else we got. Lancia Delta, Corvette C8R. Some cool ones there. Fox Body Mustang. Did I grab the Lamborghini Miura? Yeah, I did. So oddly, I mean, these are all could have been supers, right? So, but I did find some M case, some L case, some K case, some other case. I don't know. This one's a hot one right now for some, it's a Civic. I guess I shouldn't say for some reason, but I know the reason. And then McLaren Elva. Nissan Toyota Supra, no soup for you. And then let's see here, whatever, GMC Hummer EV in orange. I think that was previously released in yellow. I think this was previously released in white, this Lotus. We got this new Nissan Maxima drift car. That's pretty cool, so I'm excited to see that. That was previewed by Lamley way long ago, and then a Honda S2000. So we got some basics to look at. That's pretty cool. So you Hot Wheels fans will appreciate that. And then I've got some, another Hot Wheel here. This was sent to me from my buddy Dumas. So he sent this along with when he sent me the version Bs of the Target 2-packs that he had found. And he sent this along with it. That's pretty awesome. It's from a Hot Wheels Racing Series. It's a Toyota Land Cruiser. I don't think I have any version of this casting that's ever come out. I don't know how many have actually come out. It's an FJ40. And then I got a care package from One Stop Diecast. This is the last of the the Racing Legends. It's actually number 10, but this is the last one to come out of 12 cars. Trucks, sorry. I honestly, should we open it? I was gonna save this actually for a video just specifically on all 12 trucks because I now have them, and I think that's what we're actually gonna do. Is we'll save this. I'm gonna do all of the trucks, all 12 of the trucks together in one video. But again, hit One Stop Diecast for these Racing Legends trucks. They're pretty sweet. I've talked about them obviously in 11 other videos, so check them out. And they were kind enough to work with me and send me these, so they sent them to me to show you in a video. They also sent me the Yard series, all 3 trucks. I've already shown you number 1 and number 2 in previous videos. I didn't have number 3. And they sent me the 3rd one, or they sent me all 3 of them actually carded. So now these I have carded duplicates of, and then this one, and that's fine because I hoard Auto World. And then this one is the other one. So we'll go ahead, I'll open up this one. We're going to save the Racing Legend one again for a future video. And so we'll see you in the future for that. Okay. And then, and then lastly what we got is some premium diecast. We got Schuco Tarmac Works Collab 64 on this Porsche 911 Turbo. And man, does this casting look different with these wheels than it does as a Schuco. And I will show you the Schuco And we will compare that to this one. I think it's the same tooling, but man, it looks wildly different with this different trim. So we will check that out. And then speaking of Porsche, well, this is a roof. We got the roof CTR anniversary in Blossom Yellow from Mini GT. I'm excited for this. Now, we've seen this car, basically the Yellowbird, we've seen come out as a Para 64, and I raved about that casting. I thought it was fantastic, and actually it got my vote for casting of the year for Lamley Group for last year. And I featured it in my top 10 video and all of that. I just really, really loved it. And now we got one from Mini GT. So we are going to have to compare the two. I will grab the other one out, and we will take a look at that in comparison with this one. We have to, right? So we got two little comparisons going on for the next one, and then we got some other Mini GT. We got a yellow Miata. We got a gold Lamborghini. Pretty cool. And we have a blue Pagani Zonda Barchetta in blue tricolor. Tricolori. I don't know. Why do I even try? So there you go. That guy. And that's it. So we got some basics to look at, Super Treasure Hunt to open, some Mini G to look at, some Auto World to look at. Should be good. We might keep her under an hour today. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. How long-winded I get in the next segment. All right, so let's go ahead and move her along. All right, so let's start the second segment by taking a look at the Auto World One-Stop Diecast exclusive limited edition, the Yard. Number 3 in the series. Like I said, I've already shown you 1 and 2 in a previous one. Not as popular, I would say, as the Racing Legends series, but still pretty neat. They're all lifted trucks. There's just 3 of them. And they showcase different railroad companies. You can read the back here. Integral part of America's success since the 19th century, and you can read all about that. It doesn't really do much for me, to be honest, but these things are still pretty cool. It's a unique version of these square bodies. Definitely not something I would have thought of to do, and I'm glad to have them in my collection. And thanks again, One Stop Diecast, for sending them to me. So let's go ahead and open up this guy and take a peek at it. So it's a lifted Chevy C10 1973 variety, and pretty cool. I do love the lifted version of this casting. I definitely like it when it's the fleet side, or straight side, or whatever you call it, as opposed to the step side in lifted format. We haven't seen that many step side ones, have we? Have we seen any other lowered ones, or not lowered, standard ride height ones since the first release in Auto World standard releases? I don't think we have. There's only been a handful, like of, I think maybe CS Customs have used the step side. I'm trying to think, but there hasn't really been many. There's been a lifted one that had been out as an Auto World, but I think that just regular ride height one, geez, yeah, I don't think there's been one since the first release of these square bodies. Just thinking about that. Anyway, so there you go. One Stop Diecast in Southern Pacific Rail Police, Southern Lines. Interesting little model. All right, well, that's going to go in the square body case. Pretty neat. I think next what we should probably do, let's get our comparisons out of the way. I think we're going to look at Hot Wheels last, so I will open that Super Treasure Hunt. I promise I'm not going to wait till the last second of the video to do it, but we are going to do it. Let's do the Schuco / Tarmac Works Collab 64. So this is the reason why this is interesting. I don't know, Schuco and Tarmac have been collaborating. I've collaborated on a few models. And this one's packaged just like your normal Schuco would be, which leads me to believe it is a Schuco-owned tooling, and that Tarmac has done some things to. I don't know. It's actually different. It's different than the tooling I thought it was. So that's interesting. Let's go ahead and open it up. Quick look around the packaging. Schuco, follow us on social media. I believe it's a Schuco owned tooling, but I guess we'll figure it out. If it's got a metal base, it's definitely a Schuco, I would say, because I don't think Tarmac really makes much of anything with a metal base aside from like the Global 64 line. Right? I think so. So it is screwed down, of course. It's definitely a Schuco tooling because it's got Schuco on the base, and it does not have Tarmac Works on the base. But I don't think I've seen this Schuco tooling ever. Have you guys? Before this? Am I going nuts here? I don't know. It's kind of interesting because Tarmac just did mini champs Porsches as well. This one is of course a 911 in black and gold with gold wheels. We got red. Ooh, look at that detail right there. Porsche on the light. That's cool. So this is definitely a Schuco tooling. Got that big wing on the back there. It rolls decently. The mirrors are plastic. And this is the one I was thinking of. So this is the Schuco tooling. Well, they're both Schuco toolings. I mean, this is a different Porsche 911, I guess. Yeah, it's the Porsche 911 Turbo 1975. What year would this one be? Does it say? I don't think it does. But anyway, these are different. For some reason, I thought they were going to be the same. They're not. Not even close, really. This one has metal for the mirror. It's just cast into the body. It's not plastic like this one is. Or at least this feels plastic. And it's quite different, actually. So it's a different Porsche 911. And I love Porsches and stuff like that, but I can't tell you like what year a Porsche is. I'm not like able to identify, you know, every little Porsche model and what year it came out and, you know, what the slight differences are. To me, their silhouettes have always been kind of the same throughout the years or very close to it for the 911. And yeah, I can't separate what's what for that. So I apologize about that, but these actually look wildly different and they are different toolings and that's cool. So I guess we're probably going to see some Schucos come out with this. Was there a copyright date on the casting itself? It doesn't appear so, but this is definitely a new one from Schuco, or at least one that I have never seen. I've seen plenty of these. I haven't seen any of these. I love this casting. I love it, love it, love it, love it. I'm also really digging this one. All right, so that's kind of interesting. Inserted details for the headlights on both of these. Inserted details on the taillights for both of them. Nice details all over the place. It looks good. Somebody that's a Porsche fanatic will clear this up for me in the comments below. So look out for that because that will inevitably happen. So now I think it's appropriate just sticking with Porsche or Porsche-like vehicles. This is a roof CTR, and this is the Para 64. Was really excited when they came out with this. Still love this model quite a bit. I think I have it in nearly every color that they've put it out in. And then we get this one from Mini GT. Now, I don't know. Again, I'm not going to be able to tell you, is the CTR Anniversary a different model? I think it is. I think it's a different car, but these should be close enough to where we can kind of do a compare, contrast, whatnot. So TSM model, of course, Mini GT. I love Mini GT. This is in Blossom Yellow. And I can already tell there's like some differences. So let's go ahead and open it up and take a look at it. So we got very similar wheels on both the models. We got our classic Mini G packaging, which you guys know I'm a big fan of. And then we got the Mini GT itself, and here it is. The big difference I noticed right off the bat is the air intake things on the rear fender or rear quarter. They look interesting. They're not super cleanly done. I don't know how this looks on the real vehicle. In the back, we got that yellow stripe over part of the lights. The lights have a lot more detail on these than it does on the Para, because the Para is just a red strip across the back with nothing else. So it does appear we get a lot more detail kind of on the back of the vehicle from the Mini GT. These are definitely different cars. We got the mirrors, which are kind of that rubber mirror that we're used to from Mini GT. It looks like they kind of attempted to do like a reflective bit on the backside of the mirror. The Para has a reflective bit on the backside of the mirror, although it's not perfect and whatnot, but it's there. I'd say the mirrors look definitely better on this car. They're definitely different, though. They're just it's a different car. Very close again. I mean, again, I'm not the greatest. Here's where it really highlights like body line. I've talked about the body lines on Par 64 stuff and how they really do a good job of having them kind of like stand out, but not too much. And how they get that black, like backwash kind of, or black wash into the body lines that kind of makes them stick out a little bit. And you can see that here on the hood. It gives us a little bit more detail than you got on the Mini GT. So, I guess, in conclusion for this, they're both great. They're both awesome. The color, slightly brighter on this one than this one. And I think Par 64 tries to use as thin a paint as possible, and they do that really to highlight those body lines. And they do a great job. I really do love this casting. I think it's awesome. And I do, really like this one as well. It's not bad. And Mini GT, you guys know, is one of my favorite bands. This one has a metal base. It's screwed together. Metal base. This one has a plastic base, like all Para stuff. If I had to choose one to keep in the collection, I think I'd still side with Para, maybe. I don't know. It's hard to say. I don't really dig this open bit in the rear fender. It looks a little weird. And especially on this one, it doesn't look like it's super cleanly pulled off. So, also wheels and tires, I think the rims look better. These rims look better than those. And that's my opinion. But they're both awesome. I mean, they're both awesome. I will get this in any color that Mini GT puts it out in. I just will. And I'll probably get, I mean, I have enough of the Para one probably already. I think I have 4 different colors of this model. Might be done buying that one. We'll see. I mean, if it comes out in a color that I really think looks good, I mean, I'll probably get it. Well, who am I kidding? But, yeah. So we got 4, sort of Porsche 911s, I guess. I know that roof is technically their own thing. They got their own VIN numbers and whatnot. Out of all 4 of these, though, I don't know. I still really love this one. I just do. I mean, but I really like them all. It's hard for me to choose. Especially when you got things that look pretty similar. All right. And I like them. All right. Moving on. We're going to do, let's stick with yellow for a moment. We've got a little Miata. Mazda Miata MX-5 in yellow. I might be done buying this casting. I've got 3 of them now. I've got I think a blue one, a red one, and now a yellow one. I think the red one's like a top up kind of thing. The blue one, and both of them have headlights up. This is a headlights down version. So now that I've got a headlights down version, I think I might be done with it. This is a left-hand drive one. I think you can get it as a right-hand drive as well. Mini GT likes to do that. It's yellow. And here's where I'm talking about paint. So the paint on this is fairly thick. And that's why you don't see some very defined lines in the where the body panels are, or where the hood would meet the body. And I would like to see a little bit more definition there. I know if these were really, truly 1/64 scale and you shrunk that gap down to 1/64, it would be non-existent and not visible. That's why you can never really have a true 1/64 scale car, because it would lose detail. And, but I do kind of wish they would have, you know, had those panel lines be a little bit deeper, a little bit more visible. I think that would be a little bit better if I'm critiquing this. But it is a little sweet little car. It's pretty nice. It looks pretty good. I shouldn't say I'm done buying the Miata. There's like a more sporty version of it with like aftermarket rims, it looks like, and stuff like that. I will definitely pick up a version of that. I think it's in white. It might have only come out as a Mio so far, but I'm not sure. Anyway, I'll probably get that one, or get a version of it at some point, and then maybe I'll be done getting the Miatas. All right, next is the Lamborghini Aventador SVJ Roadster in Oro Ilios gold paint. 363. Yeah, it's a Lambo, so, you know, I had to get it. I pretty much get every Mini GT Lambo. That's easy enough to get. There are a couple that I'm missing, but for the most part, I've kept up with them. This is a pretty wild casting. There's a lot of detail to it. And it looks pretty good in gold. But again, lots of detail. I love when Mini GT does these cars that have a lot of, like, well, details in them to begin with. They pull off the stuff really well. The headlights look good. You know, these cars are complicated. There's a lot of things going on with the design of these. A lot of angular details and just little things, little interests. Well, I can't even speak. Yeah, intricacies. That's the word I was looking for. With these cars. And Mini GT does a great job of producing them. This is a pretty fantastic looking little model. I definitely dig it. And yeah, added to the vast Mini GT collection that I have now. And lastly, for Mini GT, we got the Pagani Zonda HP Barchetta in blue tricolory. This is another one, hypercar, Mini GT, lots of little details. Ooh, wow. So this is like psychotic looking, actually. I don't know if it's really that pretty of a car. I love Paganis. I think they're beautiful looking vehicles. This one, the Zonda, is a little over the top and a little weird looking. Very unique, actually, for the Zonda. It looks different than what we normally expect. Look at the little plaid details in the seats. That's just odd. The interior color itself is odd. It's like a mint green. It's like toothpaste. Lots of details they had to put in this one, though, because of the fact that it does not have a top. So that's exposed, and that's cool. This little extra piece over here, this like air intake for the engine, is pretty wild. The headlights, they're like a painted detail more than they are an inserted detail, and that's just because of the design of them and like the size of them. So they look good. They look like the car, like they should. And then the mirrors, they got these crazy mirrors with these long necks or stems or whatever coming up to the mirror. I think they did a pretty good job of that. Those are also rubberized, or rubber, so they're not going to super easily break off. You still want to be careful. We've got these little added pieces up here, which I think is supposed to drive air, I don't know, into somewhere back there for something. And we've got a very detailed rear of the car. I've always loved the way that the centralized, like, quad exhaust thing looked on the back of these Paganis. The wing is straight as an arrow, which is fantastic. The back of the car, I mean, it just looks good. It's, again, this is another one of those cars that has a lot of detail to it, and it takes a lot to pull this stuff off, from the faux carbon fiber, all of that. And for Mini GT to pull it out at the price point that they do, I think they do a fantastic job. You guys can argue with me if you want. I just love Mini GT. I love that they focus kind of a lot on hypercars and stuff and sports cars. They don't do much for basic cars. Would I like to see more basic stuff from them? I think it would be kind of cool, but it's not really their forte. And I'm just trying to look. I'm looking at what I've got for Mini GT, and I really don't see anything that would be considered like a run-of-the-mill basic car. So it's not really their thing to do that. But I think it would be interesting if they did kind of go down that road a little bit and do some cars that were more like everyday, but did really nice detailed examples of them, just like these. And I think that would be cool. I know Auto World kind of does that, or will be kind of doing that, especially when they come up with the minivan that I'm super pumped about. But you know, that's kind of a different ball game. All right, so let's get into this older Hot Wheel before we get into the latest from Hot Wheels, or some of the latest stuff from Hot Wheels. From the 2012 Off-Road Series, again, my buddy Dumas had this and gave it to me, and I do appreciate that. This is a Toyota Land Cruiser FJ40. I have no idea how many times it came out. I don't think I've ever seen this tooling except for this release. I don't think I have. At least nothing comes to mind. So this Hot Wheels Racing series, I think it was a short-lived little thing from 2012, maybe 6 cars in it, and that's it. Kind of a desirable little series, especially, of course, there's an 83 Chevy Silverado 4x4. I still don't have that one from this set. And that would be a cool one to get. I think that's probably really expensive nowadays, but here's this. You could tell it's the old school style of doing like full deco. So, I mean, we got some pretty sharp details in the graphics. And overall, I think it looks really good. Decent model. Of course, it rolls. It's a Hot Wheels. We got rubber tires, as you would expect. And all in all, a sweet thing. Pretty nice. Not bad. All right, so let's move on to... We got basically mainline cars to look at, right? We got this guy, the Super Treasure Hunt. See, you don't have to feel bad about me opening it. It's got like a crushed corner. So, we're going to open it. We got the basic, of course, ahead of that. Should we open anything before it? Let's just open the regular Treasure Hunt before we do that. We got the 87 Dodge D100. This is the standard Treasure Hunt, a regular Treasure Hunt, not Super. So we got the congratulations there in the back of the card. So this is, I guess, I would imagine, if this is correct, K-Case. K-Case Treasure Hunt. Go ahead and open her up. This is kind of a nice little casting. I think it's kind of cool. It's not bad. Looks pretty decent. You got the Circle Flame logo there, which of course denotes that this is a treasure hunt. And then of course that little note on the back of the card. Graphic-wise, this thing looks pretty good. You got a red, white, and blue, and black. And yeah, it's a decent looking little truck. I'm not a huge fan of these wheels, but whatever, they're plastic wheel. What are you going to do? And then we got this. So JDM Legends Nissan Skyline HT 2000 GTX. Hacko Skyline. Open that up. And I think I've already opened one of these actually in a previous video, but whatever, now I got a second one, so I don't have to dig out the other one. And I can go ahead and just display these together. I'd still display the main lines with the supers on my wall. I should get away from that only because then I'll be able to fit double the amount up and it will open up some space. But I have a hard time doing that for some reason. I just like to have the regulars and the supers displayed with each other. That way, if I have like guests over or something like that, and I'm showing them this room and they're asking me what's special about card, blah, 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 I can explain to them, hey, Super Treasure Hunt, this is, you know, the difference between the two. You can see that this one car has plastic wheels and, you know, a different paint, and this one's got the Spectra Flame and yada, 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 rubber tires. Do. So let's go ahead and open the Supra. I have no idea what these are selling for on the old eBay. We get just a circle flame here. No explanation. No explanation needed that this is a special car. And there it is. It looks pretty awesome, actually. It's in a dark green. It's not quite an aqua color like the regular is. It's more of just kind of a straight up green. There is some aquaness to it. But the thing that I really love about this is the black, the painted black wheels that they put on this. The wheel choice for this was fantastic. So I'm definitely digging it. It's one I wanted to find. I'm glad I found it. And you know, this is something I would have struggled to like pay a lot for on the secondhand market. I know this is going to be an expensive one to get. So because it's a Skyline, right? I mean, that's basically it. And you know, so I had to get it, and I'm glad I got it. Found it for $1, and it's been, like I said, a very, very long time since I found a super treasure hunt in the wild. And you know, still had that exciting feeling when I found it, and it was really cool. So, and my area, I've said it before, is very hard to hunt. I've got a ton of competition in this area, so finding anything like this is doubly a challenge. I mean, usually when I'm like first to anything, there's no chase, so it just, you know, stars have aligned, and I finally scored a Supra after a couple of years, so that's pretty awesome. I was excited for that. All right, we got some more cars to open up, all basic stuff. Gonna kind of rip through these quick like I normally do. We're just gonna pile them up here and start going through them. We've got actually more than I would have liked to have grabbed. I guess we'll start with this Lancia Delta Integrali, and I think this might be the best color that this is coming out in so far. This is a beautiful metal flake green. M case. Look at that. That looks great. Hey, we got details on the sides and the front. That looks awesome. Oh, the color of this looks good. Wheels look good. Everything looks good about this. I actually like it a lot. That's pretty awesome. Lamborghini Miura SV. Now, I do sort of want the super treasure hunt from this. For this. This one is LK, so I think it's the LK Super. Of course, in Spectra Flame it would be. But I do have to say, I'm not a big fan of the way that they tooled this car. I love the Miura. It's a great Lamborghini. Beautiful car. I kind of think this main line is a little not the best. I'm not going to say it's terrible, because it's not terrible. It's just, it's been a little bit too Hot Wheelized, I guess, stylized for me. The difference in size of the wheels is obnoxious. I know that maybe in real life the wheels are a different size, but they're not this different. And I just think, you know, but I get it. You know, the Miura has already been put out as a Matchbox, you know, and they have a pretty more, I guess, accurate replica of it than this one. But I don't know. It just leaves a little bit to be desired, if I'm honest, which I guess I am. So there you go. It's got a track symbol on the bottom, which means I guess this thing's legit to put on the track. I don't know. What do you guys think about this casting? Let me know. And then sticking with the ones that you can find as super treasure hunts, the Fox Body Mustang, the 84 Mustang SVO. So I believe this one can be found as a super. I think it already was released as a super, wasn't it? Or was it the other version of the Fox Body that they have that looks very similar? Yeah, you know, I think it was the other version. I have one. It's just way over there. I can barely see it from here. So I think it was the other version of the Fox Body. This is one I wouldn't mind to have either. A purple super. I don't think I have, like... Yeah, I got 1, 2, 3, 4... Never mind. I have a lot. Oops. I have a lot of purple super treasure hunts, I guess. Never mind. But that, I think this one would be all right to have. I wouldn't mind having a super of this. So this one and the Lambo. I wouldn't mind. But I'm not going to go like way out of my way to try to find it or to try to score it or buy it or trade for it or anything like that. I just don't care all that much. It just would be nice. Out of the Supers that have been released this year, I wouldn't mind having this one or the Lambo. I'd probably go for the Lambo first just because it's a Lambo, even though I'm not a huge fan of the casting. Toyota Supra. This casting's been around for a while. We get it in red. And it looks pretty good. Hot Wheels did a decent version, or decent job on this casting. Not bad. Nissan Z Proto came out in the yellow color first. This one's in white. And yeah, it's pretty decent. This car's kind of growing on me. I can't wait to see like the mini GT one of these, to get one of these in hand of the actual release of the car. I think I'll like it. I don't know. I think what's growing on me is the rear end of the car. I like how the tail looks. I think it looks pretty good. The front of it kind of screams, it's basically close to the same as the 370 and the 350. Like, it's very similar. But the rear of the car, I think, is where I'm seeing, I don't know, a difference that I kind of like. That kind of looks more old schoolish, but yet modern, but whatever. Anyway, I kind of like that. And then we get the McLaren Elva. Yeah, a car without a windscreen. So this is basically a car you'd have to ride like a crotch rocket, because you have to wear a helmet with a visor, definitely. I mean, this is really only good for track, right? Is this even street legal, this car? Well, it doesn't have painted taillights. And no headlights. I don't know. I don't really know anything about it. Maybe I should look it up, which I probably will, but of course it's going to be too late to give you any information. And then we got the Honda Civic Custom. This is new for 2022. People are really going wild for this casting. From what I could tell, people are kind of like grabbing a bunch of these and then asking a bunch of money for them. At least I've seen that a couple times. I don't know if that's like widespread. I mean, it's cool. It's a front-wheel drive, like almost set up to drag race cars, what it looks like. You know, I out of all the import stuff, I'm not really a big fan of the little Honda Civic stuff. I never thought they were that cool looking, maybe, and that's why, because I'm mostly, admittedly, I collect cars a lot for looks, almost more than anything. Is how does the car look from almost like an artistic standpoint, I guess. And that's kind of the way I am. I've explained that a few times. I'm not like a super knowledgeable gearhead or anything. Stuff interests me, but it's not the core of why I collect, I guess. So, I mean, it's pretty cool. It's got the bigger front wheel in the back, but you don't see that very often on Hot Wheels. And it's kind of wild looking. I mean, it's cool. Whatever. All right, next is the Honda S2000 in red. Nice basic casting. Just had a car accident. Nice basic casting. And, Rio Asada, all that jazz. Headlights, graphics look good. Taillights look pretty good too. For a little mainline, not bad. This one is a brand new tooling for 2022, the Nissan Maxima drift car. I actually wish somebody would put out a Nissan Maxima, just a standard Nissan Maxima, not a wagon, like just a standard Nissan Maxima from this era, and did it really good, like released by Auto World or Mini GT or something like that. Like they would put out like a basic Nissan Maxima. Why? Because I owned one. I owned one in the interim. I bought it for like $500. I owned it for, I don't know, a couple years. Delivered pizzas in it in college. and then sold it for $350. So basically I paid $150 for a car. It broke. I was broke. I didn't want to fix it, so I sold it and somebody bought it. I wonder if it's still around today. But that sucker had 250,000 miles on it. No, not from me, but obviously. But it had been around for a while. The automatic seatbelts, though, still worked. There was a lot of other stuff that did not. But yeah. Anyway, I like that car. I love that car. And it would be cool to see it in 1/64 scale. This thing is kind of goofy to me. I mean, it's cool, I guess. I don't know. The new tooled wheels are kind of neat. It's this clear thing in the front. Why? I guess I just don't really... I don't know. And now, like, every version of this is going to have that, right? Which means the interior color, I guess, is going to have to be engine colors. Or whatever. No, they'll probably do something crazy with it. I don't think we're going to see this probably ever released as a premium. At least I doubt we will. I just don't know. I just don't agree with doing that. I don't know what the logic is really behind it. You guys probably will argue. Somebody will argue about it. Does it say anything about it? Say hello to our take on the Nissan Maxima station wagon race car with wide body fender flares. This wagon was designed for drifting or time trials. This is not your grandpa's station wagon. Well, that may be true. Grandpa may never be that silly as to put a window over the engine. Right? I don't know. It's just whatever. All right. Lotus Sport Elise. I like the car. Oops. Dropping stuff today. I like this car. The tooling, I don't know if I really like the tooling. It's not bad. I don't know. They always put these like thicker looking wheels on it, like where it looks like it has a big thick tire on it. I don't know why, but it seems like every time I've seen this casting, it's had that thing going on, and I don't know why. The casting's been around. I thought this casting's been around for a while. This is a copyright date of 2021, but is this a retool or something? I don't know. Why am I thinking this casting's been around a lot longer than that? Dumas will let me know in the comments, of course. It's probably already typing. And I do thank you for that, by the way. And, but yeah. Maybe this is newer than I think it is. Well, read below, because you'll probably find out by tomorrow. All right. GMC Hummer EV. New for 2022. Why? Why put out a Hummer as an EV? I can't think of anything beyond just to prove you can do it. Throat's getting a little scratchy here. It's ugly. Cybertruck's ugly to me too. So, and it's not because it's an EV. I'm not anti-EV, so don't say anything about that. Not anti-EV. Yeah, this thing's just not very attractive to me. It's got a skateboard in the back. That's cool. Wonder if it's an electric skateboard. All right. Probably analog. All right. Corvette C8R. I like this casting. I like this tooling. I like this car. And the color scheme on this one's decent. Not bad. Nothing to really get crazy about. Second year in a row, I think, that this casting's been released, right? I think it debuted last year. Maybe the year before. I don't know. It looks good, though, in red, white, and blue. I like the Corvette C8. I do. I think it's great. So, Volvo 850 Estate. Another good casting from Hot Wheels. This one in black. Looks good. I've seen this one come out in quite a few colors, I think, so far. It's been like red, yellow, came out in like those like blue and silver, kind of like race livery kind of deal it's come out in. And it's a sweet car. I would definitely love to own one of these in real life. It would be really sweet to have one in like immaculate condition. and it's pretty awesome. Headlight graphics look great. It's all blacked out otherwise. The taillight graphics look good too. And yeah, this is a solid little mainline. So I'm a fan. I think it's pretty cool. And then lastly, we got the Lamborghini Cyan FKP 37. Insane alien spacecraft looking Lamborghini. Like if they were like, we need to make a car that has the Lamborghini styling, but looks like it was possibly designed by someone who works on sci-fi films. That would be this one. This would be it. It's got your Lamborghini look from space, and yeah, it's a pretty sick looking car. Even the color is like alien looking. Cyan. I do have one of these as a Tomica Basic, and it's pretty cool too. I, of course, didn't bring it out to look at it in comparison with this one because, you know, the preparation I do for these videos is very minimal. I do apologize about that, but it's really just a time factor thing. But this is pretty sick for $1. I'm going to say this is definitely a winner. I like this a lot. This might be my favorite mainline that we've just looked at, aside from maybe the Supra. This thing's pretty sick. So they did a good job on this. Detail standpoint. Like, this is a car that's got a lot going on with it. You know, like Mini GT. I would really like to see Mini GT do one of these. Hopefully they are going to do one. I would really like to see that, because I know they would handle the detail quite a bit. The only thing that looks a little odd about this car, well, maybe not when you look at it straight up like this. I thought the rear end looked a little weird, how much it kind of sticks out from where these little wing things are. I think that looks a little weird. I've never seen one of these, obviously, in real life, so I don't know. That's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. All right, that's going to be it for this episode. Thanks again, another long one. I think we cut her a little short of an hour, though, today, so that should be something to talk about, maybe. I don't know. But, yeah, this was sick to find. I am super stoked that I did find it, along with the other mainline cars. It's always kind of fun to find new stuff in the store. And then, of course, we got some pretty cool Mini GTs. That's not the Mini GT. That's the Para. There we go. Mini GT. And then we got the Schuko Tarmac. That's pretty neat. This thing is just wild. It's wild and crazy. That interior color. You know, it's probably accurate. And, but it's, I don't know, weird. Mint. Toothpaste. Car's wild, though. Wow. All right. That's going to be it for this episode, guys. Thank you guys very much for watching another weekly episode. You guys enjoy your day, enjoy your week. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. I do read all the comments, even though I don't have the chance to usually respond to all of them. Trying to get a little better at that, but we'll see. And then, yeah, that's about it. So, thank you guys. Have a good one.